Hey, rabbits. Welcome to the next episode of Rabbit Hole Roulette. I am your co host here, Tony O, alongside Maddie P. Our goal here for Rabbit Hole Roulette is to give you some skeptical but still true stories, whether it be current events, old topics, unbelievable facts, whatever it may be. That's kind of our goal here, and kind of let the wheel decide what topic we're going to do, and kind of down that path. Matty P, any words of advice here? Any next thoughts?
I am ready to get into the chaos. I think after last week's topic, everybody should be familiar with what we're about, and yeah, I'm ready to just get into it. See what we got in store
Okay.
for today.
Before we
Uh,
get into it, any fun fact, any interesting current events, any topics that come to mind that you kind of want to cheese on just for a minute?
Jelly Roll and Bunny XO have decided to get divorced.
Brother, so I just friended her on Instagram. I'm waiting for my kickback on this. I'm just saying. Her, not him, by the way.
So apparently they're getting divorced, but they're still going to be really good friends. And allegedly, she and he have decided to still try to have a baby together after all, because they were going through in vitro and different fertilization clinics and all that kind of stuff, trying to have a child for the last however long it's been. So I guess they are going to still continue that journey together. They have just simply grown apart, is what they have claimed, and they really would like for people to quit making up rumors as to why they split. I know I saw one that said Bunny XO was seeing Chad Kroger of Nickelback, lead singer
Sorry about
Nickelback.
that. I started that.
I figured.
My bad, Chad Kroger.
Yeah, but apparently that was all rumor. They are not together. So,
Hmm.
and I guess he also did not cheat, but allegedly he has started looking into dating, I guess. Um, but she is wishing him all the best. They are going to stay best of friends. And like I said, they still want to try to have a child together. So
It's
good for
interesting that
them.
they're going to split and be amicable, but still try to have kids. They're going to co-parent, which I think what I've read is a very similar thing, which is I think great thing.
Hmm.
Um, but interesting topic. There's a lot of rumors that are flying around about that story. That unless you truly know the details or read the official report rather than just the rumored again fan fiction,
Facebook
again like
rumors. Yeah.
myself, yeah. So I'm hopeful. We'll see. Let's see if she follows me back and hits me back.
Yeah, I'll be
Maybe she'll come on the
curious to
show.
see if they don't end up back together at some point because they have been through a lot together. I mean, I mean, they helped each other, right? Like she started off in the escort business, and we
I'm
all
aware.
can read between the lines there. He was also a drug dealer and addict when he was an underground rapper, which is where most people first discovered him before he got into the music he's in now. He didn't have custody of his daughter at the time. Then those two met. She helped him get clean, helped him get sober and all that, helped him get custody of his daughter back. And then they have been raising her together ever since. He got her mostly out of that industry, that when he blew up. So they definitely helped each other out in life quite a bit. So I'm glad to see they're at least staying friends, but I'm also curious to see if over time they don't end up back together.
And so I'm kind of read the future here. I'm going to go with that is not correct, and they stay separated.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be curious to see what happens in the future if they because a lot of times when people get divorced and they stay best friends and they hang out all the time, a lot of times they end up back together. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm at least glad it's not a he cheated or a she cheated and I hate them and blah 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 blah. So at least they're um at least it's an amicable separation, right?
So
Both
I'm going to
sides.
quote Saving Abel: "The sex is good."
Jesus.
All right. You ready to
Uh,
get into this? Let me
yeah,
spin
let's
the
get
wheel.
into it. Let
Or
me
you
get the
spin the wheel. Actually,
yeah, let me get
it's
that
your
wheel
your
pulled
wheel
up
spin.
for you. Where we at?
Let's see
There.
whose topic here. Who's gonna lead this?
Last week it was me, so let's see if you get luck of the draw this time. Oh, come
This is
on.
exciting. This is really exciting. I've got an easy second week, guys. Rabbits, if you're out there, I'm just kicking back with the quirks and the ad libs, brother. That's all I've got.
How is it me 2 in a row? All right, so we took out World's Most Interesting Man last episode, which you all know now as Steven Seagal. He is, in my opinion, the world's most interesting man. Very polarizing character. If you haven't seen that episode, be sure to go check it out. If this is your first time here, appreciate you joining. And if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notifications for the next crazy topic, whatever it may be. But before we go any further, let's see what today's topic is going to be. The options still on the table: zombie Wi Fi, worst day in Texas, and multi level marketing religion.
Still gonna say no multi-level marketing religion. I don't want that. Zombie Wi-Fi. Let's take
Zombie
it.
Wi Fi. Okay. So this one was new to me as of last week. Okay. This was
Okay.
the uh, first I have ever heard of this. And I'm going to tell you what it is. And I want you to tell me if you have ever heard of it. Um, this
Get rid of your
is,
screen there.
yep, working on it. There you go. Uh, this is the dead internet theory. Are you aware of the dead internet theory?
I have never heard this. This will be a good one.
Okay,
I have no prior
so
knowledge of this topic.
the dead internet theory. This consists of. Oh, hold on, I have screwed up my screen. Something fierce. Please hold.
We're gonna edit that out next time.
Yes, 100%. There we go. I clicked the wrong thing. All right, so the dead internet theory. This is the concept that asserts that the internet consists primarily of bot activity and automated content manipulated by algorithmic curation, meaning that this is not what you see on the internet is almost none of it anymore is designed by people. So the internet is no longer being ran by live people. It is all just AI on the internet, basically, and algorithms. This was
Hmm.
originally conceived as a conspiracy theory, alleging that the phenomenon is a coordinated effort to control the population and reduce genuine human interaction. The concept is also employed colloquially to describe the impacts of generative AI, emphasizing only the core observations without speculating on the driving forces.
I believe this actually. I believe this theory.
With the rise in AI and the amount of AI slop content I see on Facebook every day, I fully believe, and I can't imagine. I'm not on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, or Instagram, but I can't imagine it's any better. I mean, Instagram's now owned by Meta, which is Facebook, so I can't imagine it's any different at this point. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just constant as you scroll through AI created videos. I know my wife all the time will be like, "Oh, check out this video. This is crazy." And I'm looking at it, I'm like, "That's AI." And she goes, "Is it?" And then she clicks it and it says, "This video created by AI." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's AI."
So that's video creation. So what about the topics that like individuals talk about one day and then completely random the next day you see that same topic or similar threads coming through
Hmm.
their Facebook or their search engines?
Right.
So where does that come from? Is that AI? Did something hear us? Is something out there watching?
It's got to be the algorithm because I know if I get on Amazon to look up a product, if I'm like, oh, I think I would want XYZ for the house, right? I look it up on Amazon, see how much it is. I'm like, yeah, it'd be nice to have, but it's a little expensive. Go back to my Facebook feed and
There
three,
it is. New
four,
gutters.
yes, there it is. New gutters, new drill.
Yep.
Do you still want to look at this rug? Have you seen these rugs? They're very similar to the one you looked at. I think you might like this too. So, and those aren't even owned by the same company, right? That's Zuckerberg versus Bezos. But yet, if I look at it here, it comes up here.
They're in cahoots.
So that's got to be all tied together algorithm, which makes me wonder then, going down the rabbit hole, is that why they want all these big AI data centers to collect even more data, to tailor everything directly to the consumer to try to buy this, buy this, buy this? Because if they are tied together, that means that Bezos and Zuckerberg are getting a cut between each other of, hey, if somebody searches this on Amazon and doesn't buy it, and then they go to Facebook and they see a link here that sends them back to buy the similar product, you at Facebook are going to get a cut of this because we're gonna intertwine our data.
Like tip to tip.
Yes, the thing.
Tip to tip.
Uh, Supporters of the full theory claim that social bots were deliberately created to manipulate algorithms and emphasize and enhance search results to influence consumers. What I just said. Some proponents also accuse government agencies of using bots to shape public perception and opinions. The dead internet theory gained renewed interest following the AI boom that began in the 2020s, with large language model, chatbots, and text to image models emerging as technologies that could theoretically drown out human authored content on the web.
So we sat around in 2020 at the beginning of COVID, locked down in our houses, going, you know what I can do? I'm going to come up with some code and I'm going to make this AI crap. It started there. That's the birth of this. That's how Skynet starts.
Yes. You want Skynet? This is how you get Skynet. 100%. So in defense of AI, I do like using AI for certain things, right? Like if I'm trying to create something for a thumbnail or a background or something like that,
Sure.
I like to use AI to make something custom. Or if I'm, coming up with a script or a story or a speech or something like that, I'll run it through AI to be like, hey, what do you think about this? Is there anything you think I should change? Almost like a proofreader, right? But I have noticed more and more the amount of AI stuff that I see on Facebook. I see AI movie posters claiming that we're getting a sequel to a famous movie, or I see an AI of a sports figure that says, "Oh, LeBron James got injured at this game. His career is over," and it's clearly an AI image of him like holding his knee, like, you know what I mean? Like it's all
It's
fake.
clickbait. That's clickbait.
Yes. But then if you look, that has hundreds and thousands of people that have commented, that have liked, that are following it, that are in there going, oh my God, is this true? Is this true? People buy into it.
Yeah, the followers.
But then you have people create actual content and say, hey, no, everything's fine. It gets like 2 likes from like friends on their page, maybe a
Hey,
comment.
I'm going to pause this podcast here for 1 second. I'm going to go to my AI generator. I'm going to AI generate my half of this podcast. I feel like that's what needs to happen.
But what's crazy is you can. You absolutely could. And you see that now with what they call them, VTubers on YouTube and Twitch and all that, where it's not even a person anymore that you're watching like this playing a game or whatever. It's a little anime cartoon figure, or what's that one? The burnt peanut, the guy that does his thing where it's literally a burnt peanut that he puts different outfits on, that just has his lips and his eyes
Yes.
in the peanut, and people go crazy for it. And now they're talking about putting AI in Hollywood movies to utilize dead celebrities.
Wait,
Like
we
what
already
they
do
did.
that, right?
Yeah, they did it with Paul Walker,
Paul Walker.
for one of the Fast and Furious movies after he passed.
Ghostbusters, Harold Ramis.
Yeah. They did the AI hologram of Tupac for that one concert with Snoop Dogg.
I think he really came back.
It did look pretty real.
I'm just saying. I'm a believer.
God, where was I? In the time since, social media sites have been I've seen a measured increase in bot activity, such as algorithmic feeds displaying low quality AI slop at the expense of user generated content. And this is, I think, why it's getting even harder for people to get discovered on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, because now all these places are pushing AI because there's money in it.
So let me talk about discovery real quick. So I just read a story yesterday that specifically said, again, talking about discovery, and obviously I'm going to give a plug to OnlyFans here. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so content creators are making content, and specifically OnlyFans, to being explicit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get discovered, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the story I read yesterday specifically talked about a male content creator
Mm-hmm.
who was AIing female content
Yep.
and making, $20,000, $30,000 a month off
Yep.
this content that was AI created.
Yeah, and that's not just a one-off either. I have heard many stories of a lot of these OnlyFans creators that are super popular that are fake. They're AI. The guys create an account. They have AI generate a beautiful woman. They plug in some pictures of women they like or that they think are popular right now, right? And they say create a woman
Kelly
that
LeBrock.
resembles this.
Throwback right there.
And then
Callback.
they drop it in and they get subscribers, and then the men comment on there, and or the women, whoever it is that's buying the content, says, hey, I want to see this, I want to see this, can you do this? And then they take that prompt, drop it into AI, create that exact prompt, and say, here you go. And people are none the wiser. Now, I have heard that a lot of those kinds of accounts have been discovered and shut down, that OnlyFans is trying to stop that because they want it to be uh, more actual people.
Sure.
But they're not going to catch all of them, and they're going to
You
be
want to drive that
created every
engagement.
day. It's wild to me to think that the internet that was created to connect people from all over the globe, at a moment's notice, has turned into just people consuming AI content in one way or another, whether it's wholesome videos or OnlyFans or everything that you see on Facebook that's news. eh, it's wild to see. And
I have a new section when I scroll through my Facebook or my social media specifically,
mhm,
being Facebook. There's always a people you may know, and there's the real section, but then there's one that's now AI, and it shows me AI videos now. I can swipe through and watch AI created videos now.
there's a
I've
whole section
recently
now.
correct. I've
No
recently
way.
saw that. I've recently saw that on my social media, maybe 2 3 weeks ago, because I caught myself watching a video going, "There's no way this is true." And I
Yeah.
started looking at it, and I started finding out, okay, well, I'm in a section that's not Reels because it looks very similar to Reels. It's AI. It specifically says AI created. That look right there
There's
tells me you see it.
there's one that says chat with AIs.
That's very similar. That's how we're coming from, again, person to person connection to now. Now it's like Skynet. I'm telling you.
And we wonder why people are struggling with things like social anxiety and making new friends, when instead of having to go, because in our generations it was, oh, you went up and talked to somebody, oh, hey, you like that comic book, or hey, you like that trading card game, so do I, let's be friends. You went through those awkward like first interactions. Then we had a whole generation here during COVID that spent a couple years doing homeschooling
Hmm.
via internet, and now they'd rather talk to AIs versus actually talk to a human being.
And now you're going to get into the concept of the morality of the AIs when you've got somebody that wants to delete themselves, and they're looking for that comfort, and the AI suggests that. So again, there's that news article out there, or a couple actually, I believe, incidents out there where somebody does this,
Mm-hmm.
and they look through the research when they investigate it, and they find out that some open chat or AI or whatever it was basically suggested the means and the methods and what to do, and
Yep.
kind of planned it out for them.
Yeah, because AI is only going to spit back to you what you tell it, right? If you tell it, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, what's the best way to do it?
Oh, it's
Like
going
you
to tell you.
said, to control alt delete yourself, it's going to say, here's some suggestions. It's not going to have that human side. It's going to be like, whoa, 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 why are you feeling this way? Like that's not
Compassion,
the answer.
empathy.
Yeah, it's not going to have that. At least not yet. They're trying to get to that point.
Now,
Um,
my Alexa does. If I
mhm,
tell my Alexa to call me bad names or I try to do whatever, it will tell me I don't have feelings and I can't comment on that because of this.
sure. Yeah, but they
But the
also
open
said
chat
that.
doesn't do that.
Yeah, but they also say in every AI disaster film that, oh, the number one rule is it can't harm humans, and then it fails, always spectacularly. But even even outside of that, now you've gotten into people that are having relationships with AI. There's actually been at least one that I know of for sure that has married an AI character that he created, legally married an AI character he created. It wasn't here
Well,
in
now
the
we're getting
States,
into
but
where you're getting into some sort of I'm gonna say I'm gonna go back to mental health, right? Is there something about that? I mean, not saying anything wrong with it. I'm not saying he has to have a diagnosis,
yeah.
but if you look at what's in out there for mental health, is there something there that becomes a delusion of sorts, something?
I mean, it has to be, right? I mean, how can you? how do you replace what you have in a relationship and human connection with just typing or talking to an AI, it computing what you say, and then just spitting back what it thinks you want to hear?
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and go back to you've got instances of individuals, and it's not just AI. I know that's the theme we're talking about, but specifically there's people out there like a guy, married his car and was intimate with his car.
Yes,
So you have that. You have the
seen
guy
that.
that
Yep.
married the doll. Again, it's not AI. I can't talk to
Hmm.
him, but that goes back to that human nature of people want to let's say love or connect with something
Hmm.
in some fashion. And in this instance, it just happens to be AI, or
Yeah,
they can interact back
right. And it's
almost
not
almost emotionally.
just the men. I've seen I saw there was a woman that was in love with a amusement park ride,
Yep.
and I've seen there was a woman that was also in love with her car, like the guy that was on what was that show? It was on TLC, My
Strange
Strange
addiction.
Addiction.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now, what if you had AI in that roller coaster that could actually now she's got the physicality of touching the roller coaster and riding it, and she's got that emotion that high. Now, what if it actually talked to her? Now you've got a robot over the course of obviously a roller coaster, length,
Yeah.
but was able to discuss things with them intellectually and have that carry on a conversation, carry on a dialogue. There's where what scares me, or that's what scares me.
Yeah. Um God. Okay. Uh where was I? Uh, Commentators have linked some aspects of the dead internet theory to the rise in generative content across social media. Yes. Sources see the theory as having some amount of truth behind it, or as offering a potential realistic prediction of the internet's future. Also, yes. One source uses the term dead internet to describe spaces online that host generative content, explicitly dropping the word theory. Within academic literature, a leaner version of the theory has been discussed that focuses on core principles and explicitly strips the conspiratorial elements. So this has made its way into academic literature as of 2023. It entered the academic literature space when a book published by the CRC Press included a definition of the dead internet theory in its glossary, and in 2024, when an opinion piece titled "Artificial Influencers and the Dead Internet Theory" was published in the curmudgeon corner of AI and Society.
Hmm.
So the dead internet theory has two main components, right? One is that organic human activity on the web has been displaced by bots and algorithmic curated search results, and that the state actors are doing this in a coordinated effort to manipulate the human population. I don't, I don't know that that's not true. I mean, if you look, and I don't want this to turn into a political show by any stretch of the imagination, but if you look, we are more divided now as a country than I think we have ever been. Um, and most people get their information from social media. So if you want to go the full rabbit hole of government conspiracy, and the whole Illuminati thing, if they want to control the population, that's the best place to put the message out. And if you control all the AI bots, and then the data center activity, you control the information and what people are seeing. And you can make anything look as real as you want to with AI.
So you talk about a divisive country now. So let's do a flashback. Let's go back to 1863, North versus South.
Okay.
So obviously you've got open AI it's able to generate, and you talk about giving information is king, right? Holding that information to be able to display that. So
Mhm.
whereas the South is saying, oh well, this ideology is what we need. This is good. This is going to make the world better or the country better. The North, on the other hand, is saying the exact opposite, right? All people are free, yada yada yada, right? So
Yeah.
you have two sides of that coin, no matter where you're at. Obviously, one side won that, and we fought for years with certain ideology
Hmm.
and to try to do it right. Now you fast forward, to today's world, and you've got again the expanse of technology, and now I can push these thoughts out there. I can see I'm going to say hate, which you don't ever want to see, but you you always have the access to it through the years. Now it's just more prevalent, more easily accessible because it's out there. Then you put in some sort of AI, some sort of artificial discussion out there, or some bot that's potentially pushing that rhetoric or that theory. Now anybody can see that because I don't know what's going to pop up on my social media. It could be a number of things.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't really have a control over it either, right?
No,
But
no.
everybody has a computer in their pockets now in the form of a smartphone. I mean, 99.9% of the population now, I would have to imagine, has either an iPhone or an Android of some sort, right? Very few people. I mean, when's the last time you saw somebody whip out a flip phone? Um, so you got your Facebooks, your Twitters, your X, whatever, your Instagram, whatever you use, as your social media platform. Not to mention all the chat websites that people can use, right, to stay connected outside of just text messaging. And all those that use the web base for that stuff can all also have AI in it. And a lot of websites now will use AI as like a moderator instead of paying, your typical Discord mod to sit there, or Reddit mod, whatever, to sit there and skim through content with a human element. They'll use AI because they can do it so much faster. Doesn't mean it's accurate, it's just faster. But if you are controlling, if somebody says this that disagrees with the message and it's going to get banned, now you're not going to get both sides of the conversation. You're only going to get everybody piling on with the same idea. If it's even people. Because half of those people that are piling onto that same idea could be a robot saying, or an AI saying, hey, this. Let's feed
You
these
ever seen Blade
flames.
Runner?
Bits and pieces. I never watched the
So
whole thing.
that right there is exactly what we're talking about, except it's AI in a bodied form. So
Mm-hmm.
the replicant essentially, and I forgot the names in the movie, but the replicant, Harrison Ford's character, shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Harrison Ford, come on over.
Mm-hmm.
It is that individual basically a robot, right? A replicant of another human being, because it was another, there's others out there, but that in itself is they have emotion, they think, they do this, but it's so well put together, but it's really only just a form of AI.
Yeah.
It's artificial intelligence.
It's kind of scary to think about. But if you think about when you get onto a page, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or any of the others, and you see a page that has thousands and thousands of followers, right? And you're like, oh, well, this is popular, so this must be a good thing. And you start following it yourself, you now no longer know how many of those followers are actual true people and how
You know
many
what
are
had
just
thousands of followers?
bots.
The South. They were bad.
Well, yes,
Uh, mm,
yes, but that was before technology, so you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that those were real people that were there. Now you
that's my
don't
point. Now
know.
you don't know.
You
Correct. That's the
don't
point.
know. I mean, you may see a YouTuber that's got, 500,000 followers with like 5 videos that have been released. Are those followers AI? Are those views AI? I mean, I've seen where people have been busted running YouTube view farms, is what they call them, where they just have hundreds of phones mounted on like pegboard in a warehouse or in a shed or whatever somewhere, all plugged into different power strips to keep them charged 24/7. And the whole time they're just sitting there running somebody's page for video and buying
Fascinating.
views. Yeah. So is what you're seeing really popular because it's so good, or did somebody use AI or the system to get their name out there to the point that now everybody just sees it on their For You page and goes, I'll watch an episode or two.
It's a good, yeah. You know what I hate?
Mm.
AI reviews.
Yes.
There's another one, right? I got
Yep.
1,000 positive reviews, but I can only find two or three that actually look legitimate. The
Hmm.
other couple hundred seem very weirdly written, similar.
And I'm also seeing AI now pop up in the real estate sector. So if you start looking at houses for sale and they're currently sitting empty, They'll post the picture of the empty room, and then they'll post an
Mm.
AI
Fill
generated
it.
version of the room to say, well, this is what it could look like if you wanted to put this kind of stuff in here. So like if the room is kind of like, just basic carpet, basic walls, whatever, they'll then throw an AI image to say, well, if you put new flooring and you repainted and you added these decorations, look how pretty this room becomes now.
Just buy a new house. Buy a different house.
Yeah. Now, I don't hate that idea if you are somebody that wants to flip a house or remodel a house and you take pictures and you're like, okay, AI, give me some ideas. Like if you don't have the money to go pay a interior designer,
Sure.
right, to help you do it, say AI, like say you're a DIYer. You're like, hey, give me some ideas of what I could do with this room to help increase resale value and make it more functional. And they spit out an image and you can go, okay, I like this about this, or I hate this about this. And then you can go incorporate it yourself. Sure, fine. But don't try to make me buy a house for $500,000 or whatever based on what AI says it could look like if I invest money into it. Just show me the house.
You leave me over here with my Walmart and Target curtains and
Mm-hmm.
living room stuff. You leave me out of the bougie
My
stuff.
Ollie's rug.
Yeah, the top dollar stuff. Leave me alone with the stuff that you're
Yes.
showing me. I'm now
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. It's just getting wild. Um, First part of the theory, let's circle back. The first part of the theory is described as the main argument. The second is where the conspiracy portion begins. The
Ooh,
first part,
conspiracies.
yeah, we're going to get into that. But the first part is that bots create much of the content of the internet and perhaps contribute more than organic human content. I absolutely believe that's true because the internet
I
is
would agree.
endless. And I don't think there are enough people that know how to build things on the internet, that all of this stuff was created by human hands. I just don't believe that. Um, da, da, da. So this has been a concern for a while with the original post by Illuminati Pirate citing
Uh-huh.
the 2018 article, How Much of the Internet is Fake. Turns out a lot of it actually. In New York Magazine, now we're getting into a more reputable source, right? Says the dead internet theory goes on to include that search engines are censoring the web by filtering content that is not desirable by limiting what is indexed and presented in search of results. The problem is exacerbated by the phenomenon known as link rot, which is caused when content at a website becomes unavailable and all links to it on the other sites break. The dead internet theory suggests that it is part of the conspiracy to limit users to curated and potentially artificial content online. So this is, I will fully admit that I think I am part of the problem here, and I would say 90% of us are. Anytime you Google search anything you're looking for, when was the last time you've ever clicked to page 2?
Oh. Well, depends on what I'm looking for, right? So I guess maybe I'm looking for really obscure things because generally when I'm looking for things, page 1 doesn't show me what I want to find.
Sure.
So there are times I have to, rabbit hole into that and actually get a little deeper into my search to what I'm truly trying to find. Because a lot of my first page, if you look at the actual link, it says sponsored on it.
Right.
I don't click the sponsored links.
No, I always scroll past the sponsored links, but then I'm usually in the top like 2 or 3 links past that point if I'm looking for something.
Fair.
I don't know when the last time was I went to page 2, and I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I ever went to page 3. Uh, so and Google knows that, right? Yahoo knows that when you search something, you want the information right now, you want an answer, you're not scrolling past page 1. So they put
The
their
problem is
sponsors up there.
I've got a weird porn fetish, and sometimes
Oh,
I have to make it to page 3 and page 4, brother. So there are different things you have to go out there. I'm just saying. Take note.
that is a whole different discussion. That is
My
an
bad.
entirely different discussion. But
Rabbits, if you're
also
out there, comment how many times you go to page 2 or page 3. I'd like to know.
you're also not wrong. That's what 90% of the population use the internet for in one way or another. Oh
Or AI'd OnlyFans.
or AI OF.
Shout out.
Okay. All right. The second half of the dead internet theory, this is where we're getting into the conspiracy, right? This is where we're going to take that turn. Um, builds on this observable phenomenon by proposing that the U.S. government, corporations, or other actors are intentionally limiting users to curated and potentially artificial AI generated content to manipulate the human population for a variety of reasons. In the original post, the idea that bots have displaced human content is described as the setup, with the theses of the theory itself focusing on the United States government being responsible for this, stating the US government is engaging in an artificial intelligence powered gaslighting of the entire world population.
So the U.S. is responsible for all these bots.
Not that they're responsible for the bots, but that they are utilizing the bots, which, if you can weaponize anything, the government's going to figure out a way to do it, if we're being
So you're
honest.
saying that if we were to put a gender on the U.S. is now male because they gaslight.
Because they're the
That's what I'm hearing.
gaslighters. I
That's
don't
what I'm
even
hearing.
know if I agree with that argument on which gender is more known for gaslighting.
Different
Um,
topic, but yes.
Whole different topic. But if you think about it, I mean, the U.S. government always tries to weaponize everything. We've tried to weaponize birds. We've tried to weaponize dolphins. We've tried to weaponize otters. I mean, if there is something that can be used as a weapon when it comes to the military or to the government in general, they're gonna try to do it. And he who controls the information has the power. If you are the
Hence
one
the AI.
controlling the narrative, you control the power. So it would make sense that they would utilize things like AI bots to control the narrative,
Fascinating.
for better or worse. I mean, for good or bad, right? I mean, remember when 2020 hit and the pandemic was a thing? I mean, you could find most of the information you saw was saying that it was killing, hundreds of millions of people every hour. I mean, there was the ticker on, what was it, CNN? Was it CNN that
Yep.
had the ticker of how many people died at a time?
Yep.
I mean, that's all you saw. And then, fast forward now 6 years, and now they're like, oh well, if you have COVID now, just go home and get some rest. They treat it like the flu at the doctor's office.
Well, back then we didn't know what we were dealing with to the extent of how it affected, let me say, the elderly population, right? So all those deaths that were happening is because they
Hmm.
had, it's like almost again somebody in the geriatric case having a pneumonia, which is
Sure.
far worse than somebody who's semi-healthy, a 40-year-old, a 30-year-old.
Hmm.
So there's a difference. It's going to affect them differently, right? So
Right.
there's all
and
your
and
death.
fair, but that's not what the information was that was being
Correct.
broadcast 24/7. It was
We're putting out
just,
fear. This is bad.
yes, which,
Wear a
they
mask. Stay 20 feet
they
away.
yeah, they pushed for social distancing and oh my god, what is it? Was it quarantine? Jesus. To try to stop the spread of the virus, which, fair. I get where they were going with this from a scientific standpoint. But then you had, us in America that are, always talking about our freedoms and not letting anybody encroach on them, right? And they tried to tell us that we all had to go home and stay home and we weren't supposed to be outside. And everybody was like, no, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. And then you're getting blasted with all this that if you go outside and you get COVID, there's a good chance you can die. You get COVID at work, now you got to be home for 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending on when you got it during the pandemic, right?
Initially was 2 weeks, 14 days.
Yeah, but then you can only come back if your fever was gone.
Correct.
Yeah. So and all that to say, not trying to go down the COVID rabbit hole by any means, but just all that to say the power you can have by controlling the information.
Information.
Yeah. So to me, it would make sense if they are utilizing AI and chatbots to control what you see when you Google search things. Because how do you know when
Interesting.
you Google anything that you're getting the information you're looking for versus the information that they
Somebody's
are
agenda.
okay with you getting?
Yep.
Yes.
No, it's a good theory, right? It's a good conspiracy theory.
Oh, it is a conspiracy theory. You could go down that rabbit hole. I feel like indefinitely. And then you get into
Interesting.
different versions of this theory. 2025 chapter in the book, market oriented. disinformation research describe the theory as having a weak and strong version. The weak version of the theory asserts that there is a group of elites using bots to shape public discourse, while the strong version of the theory asserts that society itself collapsed because of some catastrophic event and some entity, perhaps aliens or highly advanced AI, is keeping people connected to the internet to disguise this reality. So
The Matrix.
yeah, now we're getting into a matrix theory at that point, and that's I'm gonna cap it there on that one. Do I believe that they're utilizing AI to control the information we get? Absolutely. But do I believe we're all sitting in pods right now with robots feeding off of our life force? No. Uh, the leaner dead internet theory came out in
Ooh,
a 2026 article.
CI term there. I
Uh,
love that.
yeah, it got on Ozempic, got leaner. Hal Berghel, probably butchering the name, discussed what he called a leaner dead internet theory, stripped of paranoia, prejudice, politics, and polemic, Polemic, I don't know. In this discussion, he points out uh, the 2024 publication in AI and Society by Yoshija Walter and list algorithmically generated content, generative AI byproducts, the difficulty for some people to distinguish between those and human generated content, and the resulting mistrust and misinformation as the core of the dead internet theory. He laments that conspiracy theorists take these phenomenon and make implausible claims, while arguing that its core criticism should not be dismissed. Okay.
So he's telling
So,
you don't dismiss it.
yeah.
I mean, clearly I don't want to dismiss it because somebody told me not to.
It's on the internet. It must be true.
Yeah, it's got to be
Um,
true.
got to be true. It can't be fake. So here's my thing. We've had algorithms for a long time, right? Since Facebook's inception and before that, even right, potentially even back in the MySpace days. So algorithms have all been a thing for a long time in the internet, right? Telling you, oh, well, you watched this one video for 15 seconds, or you liked this one page, so here's 5,000 more of the same thing for you to binge watch to keep you entertained, keep you on the website, because their goal is to keep you on the website, right? Because the more traffic on the website, the more money they make, right? YouTube, they want you on YouTube as long as possible. So if somebody clicks on your video and watches it for the full 30 minutes, they're going to send them to your next video because you made people stay, and that's what they want.
Yep.
Fair enough, right? I get that 100%. But to now utilize AI itself as a way to drive that same engagement, I don't like it. YouTube was founded as a place for people to post their
Ooh.
own things, right? Facebook was a way for you to connect with your friends and loved ones and talk and share ideas and put pictures and all that kind of stuff, right? Now you're getting into a full business model of entertainment that is no longer even giving jobs to people, right? Like YouTubers make money off their viewership and their ad revenue and all that sort of stuff. You know, you can make money on TikTok, you can make money on Facebook by bringing people into your site, your link, whatever. And now you're utilizing AI, which they are now no longer having to pay out for, to put out slop content, just brain rot content to make you watch it. That that to me, I don't like, and I see it so much that I have to believe at least part of this dead internet theory is true.
I'm going to fun fact this. Unrelated to this entire topic. YouTube founded
Uh-huh.
Personal's website. Personal's website.
It originally was a personals website.
Dating website. Fun fact.
Really, YouTube started
Fun
as a
fact.
dating website before it became the
Fun
video
fact.
platform.
Fun fact.
I did not know that.
Fun
On the
fact.
internet, it must be true.
That's where I read it.
Has to
Oddly
be
enough.
true.
Now I'm going to go back to your topic at hand in the algorithm stuff. So talking
Uh-huh.
about, again, I look at MySpace. Could you
Uh-huh.
imagine? Remember your top friend, right? Oh my God,
Mhm.
I just removed Matty P as my top friend. He's now
Mhm.
number 3, and you're like, oh, what happened, To? I don't know what
Uh-huh.
I did to piss you off, right?
Yep.
What if Tom had an algorithm that every time your friends looked at your page, it moved them up in ranks on your top friends.
So it
There's where the
moved you up by
algorithm should have
viewership.
started,
Mhm.
but it didn't.
Well, that's the YouTube model, though, right? It moves you up
Correct.
by viewership.
And you nailed it on the head. Could you imagine that in Facebook? That'd have been fun. Or not
Or
Facebook,
in
sorry,
MySpace, yeah.
MySpace. Yeah.
That could have been fun, but then everybody would have been flocking to friend the one person that has got the most. Like everybody would have Mr. Beast as their top friend, and PewDiePie
Uh,
as friend number
now
2,
you're looking at now
right?
you're looking at YouTube and all your followers, right?
Yep.
Who's the most popular follower and why? You don't get nothing out of that. You're just watching the content. Why
No,
is
it's
this
all
my
just a
popular friend on
popularity
here?
contest.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like high school popularity contest all over again.
Yep. True story.
Yeah,
What
I
else you got
mean,
for this dead internet theory?
I mean, it's basically to sum it up in a nutshell. It's basically AI is taking over the world, right? So you got your AI. I'm adjusting my chair. Give me a second.
We see that. So you're making out with your mic.
Oh, hello. I gotta sit up a little bit. My back's killing me. Oh, camera. Oh, that's better. Okay. So basically, the whole thing is about this theory is that it is anti-AI, basically, or not even necessarily anti-AI, just that AI is doing more of the heavy lifting than what we would originally have thought. Because I know, I mean, obviously, you and I, we mess with AI a lot. You know, your Chat GPT, stuff like that, Gemini, whatever, to do different things, even in the workplace. So it's not, to me, it is not something that ever really crossed my mind that 50% of the internet is just AI now at this point, as quickly as AI has come about.
I'm gonna AI my penis to be larger. Huh?
I regret this conversation. Oh God. So Imperva's report from 2023 found that 49.6% of internet's traffic was automated, a 2% rise from 2022.
I bet it continues to go up through the years.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing. At what point? I mean, you're already at 50%, 49.6. Round it up, you're at 50%, right? At what point is the internet nothing but just AIs bouncing off of each other and the one person that gets on there when they got to look something up?
The most popular friend on MySpace. That's the guy. That's what you just talked about.
Yeah.
That person's at the top. Or the US in this instance, the gaslighter.
You know what this makes me think of? You know, when we talk about
Tell me.
everybody utilizing AI now for everything and nobody's actually doing anything themselves. You remember the movie Idiocracy?
Brother, I've been thinking about that movie in my head the entire time we've been talking about
That
this.
this is how we end up in Idiocracy. Everybody uses computers and AI to tell us everything of what we need to buy, what we need to listen to, what we need to do, and then everybody has just lost all form of intelligence.
The moment I start listening to commercials as music, I've got issues.
A lot of commercials are music.
Correct.
How
That's
many
the
of the most
evolution.
famous commercials are catchy jingles that you can't get out of your head?
Like a rock. I mean, I'm just saying, yeah.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. It's
Well, I
the
used an actual
jingles.
song.
They get caught in your head.
Yep.
I mean, you got lawyer commercials on TV that are catchy jingles. I mean, there's one that I saw. Oh God, I forget the
You're gonna plug a lawyer's name.
Winston and Houston Law Group or something like that out of Louisville had Master P in their commercial. Just to have him on there going,
No limits.
I mean, yeah, but what does Master P have to do with lawyers? What sense does that make?
He probably needs lawyers. Driving
Or like, what is it? Lady Gaga now is a spokesperson for what is it, Canon or Kodak or something. She's a great musician. What does she know about cameras?
She's camera friendly. She's beautiful.
What does she
You leave her
know about
alone.
cameras other than to stand in front of one?
Miss Gaga, please come on to Rabbit Hole Roulette and tell us your knowledge in Kodak cameras. I have
Yeah,
a disbeliever. I believe you.
show me her degree in videography or filmography or whatever. Show me that. Photography. Give me something. Show me what she does, that she knows anything about cameras to be
I bet she's got
their
music. I bet she's
spokesperson.
got input in all her music videos. I bet she's got input.
I'm sure she has plenty of inputs.
Yes.
Oh gosh. All right. Then 2022, of course, this just ramped up the theory even more with the release of ChatGPT and OpenAI in general.
ChatGPT only 4 years old.
ChatGPT is 4 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Before that, everything was Google. So
Awesome.
obviously, as AI has continued to grow, you got more and more AIs coming out. Everybody has their own AI now. Google's got Gemini, OpenAI's got ChatGPT, Facebook's got Meta, Amazon's got Alexa. I mean, there's all. Apple's got. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want my phone to go off, but we all know it starts with an S.
Mine's Australian, by the way.
Nice.
She's real nice.
But it just goes to show, right? Like with when this came out, everybody probably read it and was like, "That's stupid. That's a complete conspiracy theory." And now, fast forward a couple years, when AI drops, and becomes as popular as it is, you now have all this AI generated content or slop or brain rot, whatever you want to call it, to the point that people are like, "Is there anybody even actually making content anymore, or is this just all AI?"
That's an interesting thought process on the AI versus the personal aspect of content creation, right? So there's so much drive there, and as you said, the guy at the top, if I can create an algorithm that basically puts through 10 different bots to generate 10 different pieces of content, I'm already 9 times more flooding the market, times more heavily than the one guy making personal content.
Yeah.
I just need 2 of those to catch on to be better than that one guy.
I mean, if you can set up an algorithm that gets out there, right, that says if somebody searches this, then plug this video of mine. If somebody searches this, plug this video of mine. Then your traffic is going to go through the roof. And maybe that's something. Maybe we need to figure out how to do that, right? So we can go from wherever we're at now on subscribers to quadruple that in a day because of an algorithm.
I know a guy. I'm gonna talk to a guy tomorrow. T Schwips, if you're around, I'm coming for you, buddy.
Well, the closing thoughts on the dead internet theory. What do you think? True, false, in between?
Oh, I 100% believe it. I believe a lot of it being that the generated for the content and that idiocracy mindset, right? I believe it's there. They tell you what you want to hear. And here's your rug. It's a conversation we just had yesterday, but now I've got some sort of a social media telling me I should buy this rug, and then not just rug, but here's a new gutter, or here's a new curtain, here's a new chair, here's this, here's that. So it's driving that for financial gain, obviously. And whoever's at the top, I don't know who that is, but yes, I firmly believe we're onto something here.
Yeah, I have to agree with it. I mean, when you're showing half is algorithm and AI, I mean, it's only a matter of time before the internet is nothing but AI at this point. And I mean, like you said, we've seen them start to use it in movies. They already use things like auto tune in music and all that. So how long before I mean, you can have AI create a song. So how long before all the music we're listening to is just robots? We're not even listening to actual people sing anymore. And they're going to use, I think, the guise of, oh, well, we've recreated Freddie Mercury's voice, right, from Queen to release this new song, so that you would see what it was, so that new generations could see what it was like when he was alive, like what they did with Tupac's hologram. I mean, now you're listening to a robot pretend to be Freddie Mercury. I think pretty soon everything we're doing, I mean, I think it's all going to end up being AI when it's all said and done. And I think that's why a good part of the reason why these data centers are being put in everywhere is because they need to set the infrastructure for that future. where you no longer need actors, you no longer need musicians. You can just type me up a new show to put on Fox. Okay, here's what's one of those shows, the cop shows that they keep popping up. 911 Detroit. Here's fire rescue Oklahoma City. Here, you know what I mean? They just keep spinning off of what we've already created because they can take what they already have, drop it into a data center, into an AI supercomputer, and say, this is what we've done in the past. We want to do a new show similar in a different place with different characters. Go.
Skeeter Gene, AI, done. I'm just saying, if you don't know who Skeeter Gene is, you've been skeeted. What if that's actually AI?
4K. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. I'm just
saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Skeeter Gene. Come on the show. Prove you're not AI. Oh, man. Yeah. I think it's definitely true. And I think it's only going to continue to get worse.
Yeah. No, I agree. Interesting topic, Matty P.
Yeah, I liked this one. It caught my eye the other day, and I was like, ooh, this needs to be a topic.
It's just fascinating to think about all the facets that, AI has become, from from anything on the computer to the chats to self-driving cars to even robots, even looking at special effects and CGI. It's all very interesting. Rabbits, if you're out there, tell us your favorite source of AI and what you use it for.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be curious to see what everybody uses AI for. I'm going to guess most is creating funny images, and the rest is cheating on schoolwork. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah. Cliff Notes was my AI years ago.
Cliff Notes. Yep. Cliff Notes was a good one. Yep. I remember using Cliff Notes because I never read a single book that you were supposed to read through high school. I just always checked the Cliff Notes, and it was enough to pass the quiz.
I can't read. I even wrote a book.
Wrote a book, can't read it. Somebody read it. Tell him if it's any good. He can't.
Shameless plug.
He can't read it. Oh my God. All right. That's going to do it, I think, for today's topic. Really, really good food for thought right now, I think, with this topic, considering the constant debates of all these data centers being put in all across the US, and I'm sure overseas too are dealing with the same thing. You guys let us know what you guys think about the data centers, the dead internet, the AI, the algorithm, the almighty algorithm. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think. If you've followed this far and enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like, the subscribe, the share, ring-a-ling, the bell. Yeah, I am very concerned about where the state of humanity is going to be in the next decade with the way things are currently going with all this idiocracy. That's where we're headed. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch that movie and then comment below that you watched the movie.
Fair enough.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Once again, I am one of your co-hosts, Matty P, alongside Tony Oaks, and we will catch you guys in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Signing off.